is RM Studios, and this is Portfolio Building for Animation Part 2. So you're going to need to develop your skills towards a digital. If you could get some kind of tablet, I recommend starting from that, or like a low-end Cintiq. You'll probably still have to spend at least $1,000 to have like your home set up. I never got to that stage, so I'm not sure what my marketing skills will be now. If I were to include some digital, it'll probably just be tablet drawing. I might get some marks, so it'd be interesting to see what kind of marks I would get. And the next thing I wanted to talk about is your storyboard. I recommend drawing your animal or whatever person or animal if they give you a choice. Don't draw both of them in this storyboard. You don't need to, just pick one of them. I would always pick an animal, not the human. Human is a bit harder because you have to draw hands, you have to draw feet. If you're drawing clean and crisp, then you can pick a human. For me, I'm always more sketchy and rough. Like these are kind of sketchy and rough, but I would draw it on a big sheet of paper first and then shrink it down. I didn't know about that when I was younger, so I would have to draw like a little small image on the square. But they will give you a storyboard layout, different layout, but make like 4 little squares, but draw on your sheet, or if you draw a bit bigger sketchbook, do them in your sketchbook and then resize them so they fit on the storyboard. I will always pick an animal, and for the character, I would recommend doing at least 2 characters, and definitely try to get some kind of human and just work a animal head onto it, or like actual character. Like an old character, don't get a new character, do some kind of cartoon character. This is like an old cartoon of a turtle from an old show, and just resize the head into like a horse head or something else, like a different animal head, and that's what Sheridan likes to see. I've seen a lot of people get in doing something like that for character design, but this is how I like characters. Just straightforward character, find the view, 3/4 view, whether you're doing a actual TV character or you're doing a character from Disney. I like doing something straightforward. For Sheridan, this is the secret for improving your portfolio. You could do it all in paper first and then submit half of it digital, half it on paper. If you take part-time, some kind of art school, 1 year, I recommend trying to work on your portfolio, a couple of things digital that way. Because when you come home, you want to have that. So, but Sheridan is very expensive. It's a 4-year program. You have to pay for dorm, you have to pay for supplies, even illustrations 4 years. If you don't get into either one of them, I recommend 1 year art experimental program, then try to get into art college. Doesn't have to be with Sheridan. That's what I did. I went to a different school, so I'm going to have a little bit with Sheridan, so I could talk about their portfolio and how to develop it. I would be really interested to see how I would submit this work now and what kind of grades I would get, but I would have to pay for the portfolio review. I don't have that kind of extra money to throw around, so this is just going to be an extra little tip to help you. It's going to be a 2-part series from my art. RM Studios. If you get in, you can thank RM Studios. When you draw your characters, you can draw them very loose. Find a certain style, how to draw the torso, the arms, the feet. You have to draw the muscle. You have maybe include some animal drawing in your extras. Maybe include some layout, like a park or something like that. Maybe in like an indoor view, like a kitchen. You can include bone drawing. But if you're doing some stuff for life drawing, you have to use those big sheets of paper and like big sticks. So, but for animation, I like live it, storyboards a little bit. I don't like the way Sheridan teaches it. That's why I'm not applying to that school for animation. I could probably apply and see what kind of mark I would get this year, but I don't want to spend money on a portfolio knowing I probably only get like a half the mark. But that's how Sheridan is. You could be good, and they won't grade you completely. You see, there's always room to improve, but they pick a few people and that's it. So, because there's only like 20 or 30 seats, and they don't pick any more, but they take all the applicants, because that's how Sheridan makes their money. Whether or not there's room, you can apply, but they only pick like 30 people, so, or 40 people, whatever the school is. But so for me, it was a very expensive school. Even art was very expensive, because you have to do painting hands-on, you have to do the life drawing, you have to do bone drawing, so you have to have supplies for everything. And then digital came along a lot later. But when I was in school, our program never taught digital, but maybe it might for some now. So hopefully some of this will help you guys out. You'll need some kind of portfolio case as well, like a really good big size that will hold like 2 sheets. Just photocopy them. I did not know you could do that. I thought you could have to submit everything original, but you can submit really good quality pictures. Just photocopy them, or have a really good camera in hand, and take their picture, crop it very well, and submit those. You don't have to submit the actual original drawing, and have everything like one drawing per 1 page. If you have to, you can put like a layout, 2 layouts per page on extras. I don't recommend doing any more than that. It's not needed. I've seen people doing like 20 little small pictures on 1 page. They don't see nothing from that. So just pick like your 2 best ones and put them in, or you can crop 2 of them, and that's the best I would do for my portfolio. And this is the best I could do for the Sheridan portfolio. I would probably pick another human character and put some kind of animal head, some kind of dog or something like that, or a cat, or I'm going to tell you to pick a horse head. I've seen a lot of people getting in and they're just sticking animal heads on a character or something like that. But I do enjoy comics, and it's straightforward. It's not making things up. But Sheridan portfolio, you have to make certain things up, and that's where you lose marks. So whatever skills you get graded on, just keep improving on that for next try. Hopefully these 2 tips will help. There's older tutorials, but those are just kind of different. This is just like a 2-part series. I'm going to give to new people applying heads up. Do your rough drawing, like a rough layout of a character, whether it's live drawing, and then clean it up. Get a light box, or make one, and get like a flat light behind it, some kind of plastic. Maybe have your family help you make it, so you don't have to buy it. If you can buy one, then I don't recommend getting a tattoo light box or something. You have to have something big enough that you can also draw freely on. So make sure you do it big enough. Find like an old desk and set some kind of table. You might have to buy some wood and stuff like that, buy a light. But you have to cut out some kind of circle, so you can put the glass. It should rotate. If you cannot get it to rotate, then do like a square and have like a flat light behind it, so the light will come through. And I just like doing basic stuff, like basic bouncing ball, basic walk cycle, flower sack, and anything after that, you're going into digital, you're going into Photoshop, you're going into Lego and all that stuff. So Sheridan will throw everything at you. That's why I don't like animation like that. But storyboarding is really hard, because you only get 1 character from them, and you have to make 4 views. So that's where you could lose a lot of marks. And hopefully some of these tips will help you. But this is going to be basically building skills, and I'm curious to see what kind of marks I would get if I were to apply again this year. But I don't have a whole lot of digital, so I would probably have to put some layout from digital studies, but I have to put a half drawing and a half digital. Work on your bone drawing, work on your objects as well, work on your layout and your character design, or your rotation. You can include more than one rotation. Do like an actual rotation and then just change the head. I would recommend doing a horse head. Pick a horse head, and that would be for the rotation. So that's how I figure out Sheridan what they like. But the storyboard will get you all the time. You can lose a lot of marks that way. But I recommend drawing big first and then shrink it down to fit the storyboard. But always pick either the character. Don't put two characters on one storyboard. I've seen people do that, and you don't need to. Just pick one of them. It'll be a lot easier for you down the line. Thanks for watching. Maybe I'll apply again someday, see what kind of score points I would get, but you do have to pay for a lot of the application fees, so you have to be aware of that. Thanks for watching. But it'd be fun to try to see where you stand for animation. Thanks for watching.